G'day guys, welcome back to Mango Invest. In this video, we're talking about QYLD, the Global X Nasdaq 100 covered call ETF that pays me just under $5,000 every single year, just in dividends alone. So you can see here the dividend yield on stake is saying that it's 11.47%. And on the right hand side, you can see that I've got $43,000 of total equity, right? So you're going to get, with that $43,000, you're going to get 2,436 shares. All right. And then the average price that I've got is $17.37. Okay. So the current price is sitting at $17.80. So just over. All right. Looking at the 3 year sort of history, right, we've had a high of $22. All right. And we've had a low of $15 there. So currently sitting at $17.80. Now, if we were to click onto the transactions tab here, all right, we'll put in the dividends filter and we'll see how much QYLD is paying me with that $43,000. So here in January 2024, we've seen $218.69. Right, scrolling down, right, earlier on in the month, we've got $202.69. Right, scrolling down to the next QYLD payment was the 30th of November, which is 196. So you can see that as time goes, we add more money to the fund, and it constantly increases in value every single month as we add more funds, which is always good. So now the most recent payment is $218. I've put more money into the fund since that point, so all the payments from now is going to be looking over $300 every single month. Okay, so looking into QLD a little bit more specifically, so the reason why I invest with QLD, so instead of putting, all your money in, one stock, such say for example, it's Realty Income Corporation, like that's a very well known and trusted real estate investment trust that pays a very good dividend. But what happens if that one company goes bankrupt? Well, you lose all your money that you've placed into that company. Whereas QYLD, you place your money into this exchange traded fund, and what that does, it breaks your money up into 102 different companies, all with a different percentage of weighting within the portfolio. So it's considered a lot more diverse. If one company within this fund goes bankrupt, you've still got 101 companies with your money sort of equally weighted out. So scrolling down here, so this fund currently is operating with $7.95 billion dollars, all across 102 different holdings, and we'll get into those holdings very shortly. So on the right, the ticker symbol is QYLD. All right, they're operating with 102 different companies within their portfolio. All right, the dividend yield says here it's currently sitting at 12.66%. All right, and they pay their distributions monthly. So let's just click into the distributions tab here, and I just want to look at 2023 to see, how they're sort of performing. So from January to December of 2023, every single month, it looks like they've paid 16 to 17 cents per share every single month. So that straight away tells me it's extremely consistent, right? So, you may see some funds that pay like 14 cents per share one month, the next one's like 30 cents, the next one's 50 cents, and then it's back down to like 20 cents per share. So what I like about this is that it's consistent, right? You're constantly looking at like a 16 to 17 cents per share dividends every single month. And to have a look at 2024, well, what do you know? The first payment in January, again, is sitting at just under 18 cents there. So very consistent, very trustworthy sort of ETF here. Okay, so looking at the performance history, the fund NAV. So in the last year, year to date, they've returned a percentage of 22.82%. Now, this is taken into consideration the growth of the stock price, but also the dividends. Okay, in the last 3 years, they've returned 3.15%, and then in the last 5 to 10 years, and also since the inception. So this fund was created in 2013, and ever since, with the growth, but also the dividends, it's returned 7.24%. Now, if you were to place your money in the S&P 500, the general sort of return that you're going to get is between that 7 to 9% mark anyway. So as you can see there, it's just hitting the market average regardless. Okay, so now having a look at some of the top holding, which these companies you probably invest in individually anyway. So you've got Microsoft, and they're weighting, within that $7.95 billion is 8.96%. Okay, whereas Apple has an 8.46% weight in this portfolio, and you're going to see a lot of companies, very, very tech heavy sort of companies at the top end, such as Nvidia, Amazon, Meta, Tesla, very, very popular stock here. And you've got Class A and Class C of the Google shares. All right, and then scrolling down, you're going to see some more fairly popular companies here. So like PepsiCo, Intuit, Intel, and the list goes on. What I like to see here is that the weightings aren't too heavily one sided to one company. So you know Apple and Microsoft share an 8% sort of weighting. Nvidia and Amazon share a 5% weighting, and then as you go down the list, it's just less and less and less. So therefore, it looks very diversified, which is pretty cool, and that's what I like about the company is they're not too heavily weighted into either tech or real estate. They're just across the board very balanced. Okay, and moving over to track your dividends, you can see my total portfolio being $306,000 USD. I've got a yield on cost of 6.25% with an annual income of $18,978 there. So, and then you can see the average monthly income is sitting at $1,581. Okay, but if we scroll down, we want to look for QYLD on the left hand side. Right, to the right side here, you can see the amount of shares that I've got at the average price in which I bought it. Which is over here, the $17.37. Moving over to the right, you can see the dividend yield, which is slightly different from what the website says, but it's still fairly close to that 12% mark. And then the annual income you can see here is $4,935. So there you have it, guys. That's the completion of the video. So this video will just give you a basic understanding of how much money you would need in order to get $5,000 every single year with QYLD. So you're going to need roughly, that $43,000 to $45,000 in the fund at an average price of $17.37. And you'll probably have, like 2,500 shares. But as always, if you did like the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you did want to sign up with Stake and get a free stock, just use the code here, ChrisM965. You'll get a free stock and I'll get a free stock. So it's free money, so why wouldn't you do it? All right, as always, have a great day and I'll catch you in the next video.